The lack of an NBA All-Star game to be held in Sacramento is just puzzling at this point. Seriously, what do we have to do to get this game? What does the city have to do to make this a reality? Because at this point, it feels like an insult that Adam Silver and NBA owners won't award us the weekend festivities. With the league recently announcing that the Los Angeles Clippers and their yet to be opened Intuit Dome will be hosting the 2026 festivities, it leaves many in California's capital wondering just what the hell is going on here. It seems like Sacramento just has no hope of landing this marquee, this showpiece event, despite the fact that we all desperately want to host it. And before you start with your whole, oh, all-star games, they don't really matter spiel, just know that these are massively important events for the local community to be a part of, not to mention huge revenue generators for the downtown areas or wherever the stadiums are located at. The most ridiculous, the most frustrating, and the most annoying thing about all of this is there's legitimately no good reason to deny Sacramento from hosting this event. Hell, Dr. Dre even gave us a shout out on California Love. Sacramento, where you at? By the way, Sacramentans still go crazy anytime that part of the song comes on. But it's not just Dre. Ludacris gave the 916 a shout out in area codes. 916. We can get recognized in these hit songs, but the National Basketball Association won't give us any love, won't celebrate our area code. To me, that's preposterous. Look, it's not like we're talking about hosting the NBA All-Star Weekend in Wichita Falls or anything stupid like that. Sacramento is the country's 20th largest media market, and with a passionate basketball fan base that players and coaches oftentimes recognize for, again, their passion and their knowledge of the sport. More importantly though, the city has Golden One Center, what is undoubtedly, without question, one of the NBA's best arenas, top 5 for sure. You're telling me that Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio is somehow better than the G1C? Absolutely not. Get out of here with that. That is not the only reason though us folks in Sacramento are salty about all of this. Just look at the number of repeat hosts for the NBA All-Star Game over the years. The Staples Center has hosted it 3 times. The Smoothie King Center in New Orleans has hosted it 3 times. The Bay Area will have gotten 2 All-Star Games in 25 years when the Chase Center hosts next season. Should the league not be sharing the wealth here? The big argument against Sacramento is that the NBA All-Star host city, it needs to be a destination. It needs to be a place that players and fans and coaches and anyone associated with the sport of basketball actually wants to go to. People arguing this will cite, places like New York and Los Angeles and even that ill-fated game down in Las Vegas as reasons for that. I mean, Thomas and Mack Center, come on, what are we doing here? Anyway, I see your point and raise you this. Look at some of the NBA All-Star Game host city selections in recent times. Indianapolis is smaller than Sacramento and has a worse arena. Charlotte, same on both fronts. And then there is Salt Lake City. It is insulting. It is a slap in the face that Salt Lake City was chosen to host NBA All-Star Weekend ahead of Sacramento. It's smaller, and the Delta Center cannot hold a candle to the G1C. What I would really like to stress here, though, is this point. In no way, shape, or form imaginable is Salt Lake City a better destination in Sacramento. And having been born and raised in Sacramento, I find that city to be one of the most boring and uninteresting places on the face of the earth. That should tell you all you need to know about Salt Lake City. Utah's capital is basically Reno with all the fun parts removed. And at this point, Reno probably has a better chance of landing the NBA All-Star Game than Sacramento does just based on how things continue to play out. Can anyone, anywhere, give me a good reason for Sacramento to not host the NBA All-Star Game? It's not a California thing because both Los Angeles and the Bay Area have hosted All-Star Weekend in the past, and each one will host it again in the near future. It's not a market size thing because markets smaller than Sacramento have since been allowed to host NBA All-Star Weekend. It's not an arena thing because arenas worse than the Golden One Center have been allowed to take part in the fun. It's not a destination thing because cities that are duller and less interesting than Sacramento have been selected to host All-Star Weekend. Maybe the NBA is just boycotting cities that end in Minto. I mean, I don't even know here. Nothing logical seems to work when trying to justify not giving Sacramento the NBA All-Star game. Look, I totally understand the National Basketball Association wanting no part of Sacramento while the Kings were playing in Arco Arena. That was not a particularly good facility. It was one that was outdated the moment it opened. It wasn't a quality enough place to have All-Star Weekend. But today with the Golden One Center, with a city that would roll out the red carpet for the NBA in a way the league has probably never seen before, with fans who would be clamoring to see all of the events and be a part of all the activities that come with an NBA All-Star Weekend. How can you tell me this isn't a great idea? How can you tell me this isn't a slam dunk? There's also an important final chapter as it relates to the saga of the Sacramento Kings and the NBA that really needs to be written here. And that conclusion is the city hosting NBA All-Star Weekend. From the heyday of the mid-2000s Kings to the Maloof saga, all the relocation threats, all the relocation attempts, and really to just what was pretty much a terrible decade of basketball here in the capital. I mean, the 2010s were not kind to us fans. Really going back to 08-09, which is one of the worst basketball teams imaginable. The Pistons think they have it bad, but they have nothing on the 2008-2009 Kings. And really, from the years that followed, the bad head coaching hires, the bad roster moves, the poor roster construction, just a total lack of leadership from the franchise that stemmed ownership all the way down to the 12th man and below that. Giving Sacramento the All-Star Weekend would really just close the book on a painful period for what should be one of the league's success stories, a small market team in a small market town that really does basketball right. There will always be folks out there who rabble on about Sacramento's not big enough, it doesn't deserve the NBA All-Star Weekend, whatever they want to say about the stature of the city. But come on, you already hosted it in Salt Lake City. You gave it to Cleveland. No player wants to go to Cleveland apart from LeBron James. The argument just doesn't work anymore because you've given it to all of these other places that honestly aren't as good as Sacramento is. And that's a pretty low bar, admittedly, but that's still something. Come on, Adam Silver. Come on, NBA owners. It's time you do the right thing. You know, Dr. Dre, back in the day, he asked us in Sacramento, where we at? Sacramento, where you at? And now I'm going to pose that same question to you, National Basketball Association, NBA, where you at? Because if you are not hosting the NBA All-Star Game in Sacramento sometime this decade, then you might as well not even have it at all. If you do come to your senses and you do host the damn thing right here in Sacramento, California, well, you can expect an experience unlike anything you've seen in league history. We are starved for events like this. All we want is to be able to showcase our town, the town that we love, to the world. We would go so far above and beyond your expectations that you just may get the best NBA All-Star Weekend in history. And if not, you would get one of the funnest, one of the most creative, and one of the most unique. That is for damn sure. Back in reality, though, I can admit I doubt the NBA cares to host the NBA All-Star Weekend in Sacramento. It's not high on their priority list. It may not even be on any list at all whatsoever. In fact, what I'm worried about is that this video may have started turning gears in heads amongst NBA owners to host the All-Star Game in Wichita Falls or some other ridiculous corner of the globe. That is really how sports owners tend to operate in modern times. That being said, though, I will never give up hope and I will never stop fighting this fight for the All-Star Game to come to Sacramento. Thank you for watching this video, this rant, this diatribe. I don't even know what to call it. I just want the NBA All-Star Game in Sacramento. Let's just call it that. If you'd like to know more about why my hometown of Sacramento is a Major League Baseball worthy city, well, check out the video in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Until next time, I am Cheyenne Hollis. This is The Touchback, and as always, hashtag take it out to the 25.